Hello everyone, this is Recon Stewart, and today I am starting the new campaign for the MiG-21, A Stillness in Time. Now, there are some complications. I had already started this campaign, and as I got to Mission 3, I realized that for some reason, when you try and fly this through the campaign selector, rather than individual missions, the campaign has all of the missions out of order. So I've flown 3 missions already, but they weren't in order. So I'm going to try and rectify this by flying the missions in order and having them in my YouTube playlist in the correct order. So now I'm playing catch up. So this is truly the start of this campaign, Mission 1, and I'm going to fly it and get it posted and try and get one of these missions back in the correct order so they make sense, because it's a lot more enjoyable when the mission is in order and it seems to there's a bit of a plan with this war with the North. Okay, so mission overview titled Last Drops. It is a cap mission, but basically situation is we just finished our mission qualifications training at Kyrmsk. The situation with our northern neighbor is complicating. We need to get home safely. The objective: you have finished your training in a neighboring country at the Kyrmsk Air Base. Take your aircraft and lead a 2-ship flight back home. Land at Kutaisi. Task: simple. Don't waste all your fuel before you kiss the ground. On second thoughts, maybe it's not that simple. Threats: at the moment, we don't expect any enemy engagements. However, if that happens, your primary task is to bring those two aircraft home safely. Any other questions? No? So why am I still looking at you? Get lost. Our call sign will be Dodge 11, AWACS call sign Focus 11, navigational data, Kutaisi, Kyrmsk, Sochi Adler, and some ARC stations as well. Okay, so let's jump into the mission planner. Alright, so we're going to be taking off. We're going to be taking off from Kyrmsk, and we're going to be flying home to Kutaisi to the southeast. So our first navigation point that I want to hit is Sochi Adler. So we're going to take off from Kyrmsk, and we're going to fly to Sochi Adler, approximately 123 nautical miles, which is probably close to 200 kilometers. We're going to fly a direction of 130. And we're going to probably fly away from Kyrmsk RSBN for a little while and then switch to Sochi Adler once we get closer. But all the while flying 130 to 133 degrees to the southeast. Once we hit Sochi Adler, we're going to try and fly to an ARC station Gali. So we're going to be flying at 95 nautical miles, probably close to 140 kilometers. At 120 degrees from Sochi to Gali. We'll probably keep it on the Sochi Adler RSBN for a little while until we get a little closer to the ARC station, but we'll be flying 120 degrees away from Sochi, and then we'll hit the ARC station. Once we hit the ARC station, I want to fly due south 180 degrees to approximately 32 miles away from the Gali ARC station. And once we get that distance away, I want to make a turn and come straight into Kutaisi, and we'll tune to Kutaisi's RSBN and put the aircraft down. All right, that's my plan. We'll see if it works. Let's jump in the cockpit and get started. All right, we are in the cockpit. Let's go ahead and get our bird started. Let's do 750 start 1 and 2 on, battery heat on, battery ground power on, DC gen on. Go ahead and turn our fire extinguisher on. And let's turn our radio on, our flight recorder. And let's set radio frequency to Kutaisi. Kneeboard. Kutaisi. Krimps 9. Kneeboard. And let's request startup. Tower. Request startup.
Kyrmsk, Dodge 1-1. Request startup.
Dodge 1-1. Kyrmsk, cleared for startup.
Alright, let's turn on our fuel pumps. And our APU. And let's make sure that our Alright, good. Those switches are working. Alright, release the throttle lock. Push throttle up to minimum. And let's start the engine. Alright, engines are going. Let's turn our gyros on. And ECU gen power. And let's get our avionics on. So I just turned on our ARC, our radar altimeter, RSBN, gyros, FTS, autopilot, autopilot pitch, trim system, pump unit, and the nose cone. I'm going to turn on our RWR and our ATC and put our radar into standby. And let's pick a ARC station while we're here, since we know we're flying to Gali, kneeboard. And that is going to be ARC Station 3 in Sector 3-1. Alright, ARC Station is selected, kneeboard. And let's calibrate our compass. There we go. Let's turn on our emergency pitot heat. Do we have any weapons? We do have some weapons. Alright, let's close the canopy. Lock it. And pressurize. And since we have weapons on board, let's preheat those. Let's turn on IR semi-automated heat. We'll leave missile rocket launch off. That is our master arm. We'll arm pylons 1 and 2. We'll arm the gun. We'll arm the sight. We'll arm SRZO. What do we have for weapons? Let's see here. Looks like we have 2 in the outboards. We have 2 IR guided, and then we have semi-active radar on the inboards, and we have an extra fuel tank. So let's go ahead and leave it on SAR. We'll turn it to air, and let's leave it on the inboards. And we'll go ahead and activate our sight and turn the visual up on it just a touch. Alright, flaps to middle position. Taxi lights on. Navigation lights on. Tower.
Kyrmsk, Dodge 1-1. Request taxi to runway.
Dodge 1-1. Kyrmsk, clear to taxi to runway 22.
Runway 22, which is going to be running from right to left. So let's taxi to our right. Now, because we have such a long way to go, I'm going to try and conserve fuel on this flight. Differential braking there. Taxiing in the MiG is not nearly as easy as taxiing in the A-10 or the F-15. Man, this is a long taxi. Do hope I'm headed the right way. Yeah, it looks like I am. Need to make our way out to that taxiway out there. And 2 is just gonna roll right in front of me, I guess. Did you just stop in the middle of the taxiway? No, I guess not. I think we want to go that way too. Alright, let's take the
Dodge 1-1. Unable to clear for takeoff.
runway.
Dodge 1-1. Kyrmsk, you are cleared for takeoff when ready. Climb 300 at QFE 758.35.
Alright. Let's lock our nose wheel brake. Flaps in middle position. Gear unlocked. And we do not want an afterburner takeoff. We're going to try and conserve fuel. We do need to set Kyrmsk's RSBN. Kneeboard. Kneeboard. Alright, we are set. And we need to fly heading 130 from Kyrmsk, if I remember our plan correctly. Yep, so let's set our course to 130. Okay. Brake set. Throttle to 80%. Throttle to 90. Throttle to 95. And full throttle. Brakes released. And rotate is going to be 250 kilometers per hour. Alright, we are at 250 kilometers. Rotating. And we are airborne. Gear up. Gear back into the neutral position. We'll go ahead and lock that. And flaps up. Alright, let's turn to our heading of 130. You can see there that we are 4 kilometers from Kyrmsk already. And so we'll just fly this path 130 away from Kyrmsk. And we will be on our way. Try and get up to about 10,000 meters. Okay, well, that's a good place to take a break. This is Recon Stewart. I apologize for the confusion on the mission order, but this is mission 1 of the Stillness in Time campaign for the MiG-21. Thanks for watching, and we will see you next time for part 2. Take care.